Welcome back. Now, the bus service in Chennai enjoyed the reputation of being among the best in the country. Now, especially in terms of connectivity. But there are pockets where the bus service falls short literally. Sudarshan Kumar brings to us this story. This is a prime residential locality of Chennai, but commuters still spend between an hour or two to reach the GST road, a distance that can actually be covered in 15 minutes by an MTC bus.
பஸ் கன்வென்ட் கிடையாது எங்களுக்கு எல்லா பஸ்ஸும் இங்கே சுரேந்திர நகர் 5வது தெருவில் எங்களுக்கு நிச்சயமாக நிற்கணும் நாங்கள் ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறோம்.
In fact, a whopping 130 crore rupees was spent on laying this road with the idea of allowing bus routes from Bellacheri MRTS to Alandur. The work too was completed in February this year, but till now, not a single bus has begun to run. The Transport Corporation says there are reasons.
Hey, but you will have your survey. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you receive complaint, how much time will it take? So we are doing survey and if it is possible to extend the bus or some adjustment, we can do immediately. Okay, suppose if we have to introduce a new vehicle, it will take 10 hours.
B51 comes from East Tambaram and goes to T Nagar via Surendra Nagar, Jai Lakshmi Theatre, Kathipara Junction, Gindi and Saidapet. M14 runs from Medavakam Route Road to St. Thomas Mount Station via Surendra Nagar and Jai Lakshmi Theatre. It's not only time and distance which irks the residents of this area. They say that B51, the only bus to Saidapet and Gindi via Surendra Nagar, doesn't even stop at Surendra Nagar. The reason? There is no bus shelter. Also, the frequency of other buses is so poor that people have to wait for 1 to 2 hours at the bus stand. And after 8 PM, there is no bus service at all.
There is no bus, no connectivity from here to Kathipara, GST road. So we no share auto. So we need to some kind of connectivity between this area to GST road.
Only M14 only போறது அது வந்து மவுண்ட் டு மேடவாக்கம் கூட்ரோடு அதே மாதிரி அங்கேருந்து வந்தனா மவுண்ட் வரைக்கும் தான் எங்களுக்கு அது ஸ்டாப்பிங் அதுக்கு மேல எங்களால போக முடியல வந்து.
Desperate residents now want some reliable service. They want the M14 extended up to Azarkana. Currently, it terminates at St. Thomas Mount Station itself.
Buses, even if they are not able to provide direct buses to CMBT, they should give connectivity to GST road with better frequency every 10 minutes, 15 minutes like that.
MTC says they have not received any complaints from residents but plans to take up action after NDTV Hindu brought these issues to their notice.
Most a person when they see that the buses are stopped. It's like in community. They have to follow stop.
Quick service. That is the way transportation is headed in many mega cities. Will MTC catch up? In Chennai, with Sudarshan, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu. Well, here are some disturbing facts that were placed in the Assembly. Now, statistics placed before the Assembly by the School Education Department reveal that, well, 4,085 government schools don't have drinking water facilities and over 2,200 government schools don't have toilet facilities. Now, 13,785 government schools don't even have the compound walls, while nearly 11,000 classrooms are badly in need of adequate infrastructure, according to the report submitted by the department before the Assembly. Now, meanwhile, nearly 4,000 government schools are in need of classrooms. Now, Tamil Nadu government has allocated 13,334 crore rupees for school education in this budget and promised to address the gaps in infrastructure of government schools. Now, the government has also announced that nearly 15,000 vacancies for school teachers will be filled up. Well, in more developments from the city now, on Tuesday in suburban Chennai, due to negligence by a lorry driver, a truck overturned and buried a 9-year-old child under tons of sand. Now, the tragic death of Ruben, the 9-year-old child, has sparked off public outrage. Let's take a look.
It is really unfortunate to see an 8-year-old boy was drowned on a sand which was loaded on the lorry, fell down on him in Salur. Is really because no proper inspection of the lorries and drivers are not having any license officially, I think, most probably. Most of the time cleaners are running their vehicles without any proper licenses with them. only with temporary licenses. These things should be immediately attended to by the RTOs. I have already filed many cases and they have been warned not to allow any vehicles like that. And unfortunately, this boy was fully alive and buried under a sand which was loaded on the lorry. It is unfortunate. This is not an accident. It is deliberately done by the driver, I think so. Ration negligent driving is punished with an imprisonment of 2 years. Of course, the drivers would get, totally free, would get bail immediately after the incident. But the real reason for this kind of accidents is different. There is no proper checkup by the transport office about the license. And the vehicle checking also improper. Many accidents occur only because of condition of the vehicle and inability of the driver to drive the vehicle properly. Such accidents can never be prevented unless the government takes steps to see proper inspection of the driving license and the vehicles is done by the competent authorities. You cannot blame the drivers, after giving them license, knowing fully well that they don't know how to drive the vehicle.
Well, a medical seat broker has lodged a complaint with the Chennai Commissioner of Police against Union Minister Jagat Ratchagan's wife and daughter. The complainant, who is a medical seat broker, alleged that the Union Minister's family, who owns 2 medical colleges in Chennai and 1 in Puducherry, collected capitation fee up to 18 lakh rupees per seat but did not give the students medical seats. Now, the complaint claimed that he got a commission of 50,000 rupees per seat and roped in 9 such students and paid a sum of 92 lakhs as an advance payment to the Union Minister's family, but in fact was duped, so he claims. In his complaint, the broker says he was assaulted when he approached the party to pay back the capitation fee. Meanwhile, police sources say that the case will be transferred to the Central Crime Branch of the Chennai City Police for further investigations.
சென்னையில் எங்கும் தாகூர் மற்றும் பாலாஜி மருத்துவக் கல்லூரியிலும் புதுச்சேரியில் உள்ள மத்திய மந்திரிக்கு சொந்தமான மற்றொரு மருத்துவக் கல்லூரியிலும் ராஜேஸ்வரன் மூலமாக 9 மாணவர்கள்கிட்ட 92,50,000 ரூபாய் இவர் மூலம் அவங்க வீட்டில் கொண்டு போய் பணம் கொடுத்துருக்காரு. அதில் ஒரு சில மாணவர்களை 1 மாதம் கிளாஸில் இருக்க வச்சுட்டு மீண்டும் உங்களுக்கு சீட் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்களை திருப்பி அனுப்பிச்சிட்டாங்க. போய் இவர் ராஜேஸ்வரன் பலமுறை அவங்க வீட்டில் போய் கேட்டும் இல்லை தர முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லி அவங்க மந்திரியோட ஒய்ஃப் கண்ணா பின்னான்னு திட்டி அவங்கள வெளியே அனுப்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. அவங்க மகள் இதுக்கு உடந்தையாக இருந்துக்கிட்டு அவங்க மூலம் அவங்க ரொம்ப மன உளைச்சல் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. அதுக்காக ஆணையரை பார்த்து புகார் கொடுத்தாங்க.
இந்த சீட்டுக்காக நான் பல வாட்டி அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு அலைஞ்சேன். லாஸ்ட்டாக அவங்க வீட்டுக்கு போகும்போது கூட என்னை அங்கே இருக்கிற ஆளுங்களை வச்சு அடித்தோம், செருப்பை எடுத்து மேலே தூக்கி வீசிட்டாங்க சார். பல வாரம் அலைஞ்சு தான் சார் கடைசியாக நான் இங்கே நிற்கிறேன்.
Well, on to the big national story now, the meeting of all political parties of the parliament. Now, they have jointly requested Anna Hazare to end his fast. Now, the meeting was also of the view that due to consideration should be given to the Jan Lokpal bill so that the final draft of the Lokpal bill provides for a strong and effective Lokpal which is supported by a broad national consensus.
मैं देखने के लिए आया हूँ कि अचानक पूरे मैदान को पुलिस ने घेर लिया है. अभी ये देख रहे हैं आप सारे, ये जो प्लेन क्लोथ्स में जबरदस्त पुलिस आ गई है सिविल ड्रेस. वो कह रहे हैं कि अंदर जेब कतरे आ गए हैं, उनको रोकने के लिए आए हैं. लेकिन एक बार मैं थोड़ा राउंड लेके आता हूँ, फिर बात करते हैं.
आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि अन्ना जी को ले जा सकते जबरदस्ती हॉस्पिटल में?
पता नहीं, कह नहीं सकते, वो तो मना कर रहे हैं. मैंने पूछा उनसे, पुलिस वालों से, मैंने कहा कुछ एक्शन की तैयारी कर रहे हैं क्या, तो कहते हैं नहीं अभी एक्शन नहीं.
But meanwhile, Arun Jaitley, the leader of opposition Rajya Sabha, has stated that the focus should be on empowering the Lokpal bill with teeth rather than a tight deadline.
Leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Mr. Arun Jaitley, is heading for the all-party meeting. Mr. Jaitley, there is an attempt going on by the government to create the broad contours what can be an agreeable Lokpal bill. What are the things which you agree with on the government and the Lokpal bill?
I have no information of what the government intends to doing. I am quite clear about 2 things. We must create a situation keeping 2 facts in mind. First, Anna's fast must come to an end. His health is of primary concern. And secondly, The government must move forward and come out with a credible proposal for a strong and independent Lokpal.
Do you think that the government, by mishandling the whole issue, by not talking or honoring what Lokpal was, what the committee was saying, what the opposition was saying, has actually brought a situation where the entire system is...
The government gave an impression that it wanted to Sarkariya Lokpal. Now this created a reaction, particularly when the enormity of public anger is there, particularly because of large cases of corruption which have taken place. And therefore, I think the public anger is so high, the government should have sensed the mood, got the message loud and clear and reacted to that. It reacted to the contrary.
Are you happy about the fact that somebody is setting a deadline for Parliament that this is the time by which you should enact a law?
Well, I won't comment on deadlines or rejection of deadlines. We are very clear about the kind of Lokpal that we want. We'd like all parties to put their head together. The timetable, according to me, is not so relevant. What is relevant is the content of the Lokpal. Whether the Lokpal is discussed tomorrow or it's discussed after 15 days is a secondary question.
Are you happy about a law being created in haste, under duress?
Well, I think we've discussed it for 42 years, so we really can't say that Lokpal is being created in haste.
And if the government does come up with certain proposals like the Prime Minister being included in the Lokpal...
Well, that's the BJP's proposal. Prime Minister minus his national security and public order functions is the BJP's proposal from day one. The NDA had introduced a bill to that effect and we'll be too happy if the government accepted that proposal.
Well, here's one matchup off the field. It's Muthaiya versus Srinivasan. The prize is the seat of power in the BCCI and the Supreme Court gets to play the umpire. We get you all the details on the other side.